Turning Point USA is going pretty viral right now for their little candid interviews on these women who are saying that they will give up their right to vote if it means that they can swing the nation to be more conservative than we see it today. And of course, their figurehead issue is abortion. Now, something that I think is really interesting about this piece of propaganda that Turning Point USA is putting out, because mind you, this Turning Point USA puts out propaganda. It's all they do. And actually, there are articles that are coming out showing that the footprint that they actually hold in these rallies that they're making look so huge, they're artificially inflating their presence to make you feel like, oh, the whole nation is super conservative. That's not telling you the full story, which is why they're having to inflate so many things to make it feel bigger, because they don't actually have the crowds. So to watch 4 women do an interview talking about how they'll give up their right to vote, which mind you, they're not saying we'll give up our right to vote because we don't feel like we're capable of voting or women aren't capable. They're saying they're willing to sacrifice their rights because they want to cancel out my vote. Right? Liberal women who want women to have full autonomy to do whatever they believe is best for their lives and their bodies. They want my vote to cancel, and so they'll sacrifice theirs to their husbands in order to harm the rest of women in society, because they spend all of their time obsessed with what other people are doing with their lives instead of actually looking around at their own lives and their own husbands and their own children. Now, before we start blowing this out of proportion to be, oh, so many conservatives and it's taking over, like, is it a cause for concern? Yes. But historically, it's really important to understand that even when the suffragette movement was happening and we ended up with the right to vote, it was not a unilateral decision. It wasn't like all women banded together. There were a bunch of women standing next to their husbands saying, I don't want to vote, my husband will vote for me. This is not new. Dumb bitch, I want a man to run me syndrome is not new. And there will always be dumb bitches who do not understand their rights. We can't let that stop us or fearmonger the rest of us into believing that we will give up our rights as well. Very famously, Susan B. Anthony, right? People always, champion her around the suffragette movement and the right to vote, but she was a racist. A rampant racist. And she actually was in bed with the white men talking about, we can make sure the blacks never have anything. If the white women get to vote, we'll always vote in alignment with you guys, and then the blacks will never have anything, which we still see come to fruition today when we watch the voting data around how white men and white women vote, right? Predominantly Republican. We still see that. We still see that trend. So maybe Susan B. Anthony was really fulfilling that promise that she made to white men, with her racist back, we need rights agenda. It's always been a messy fight. Women have never been unified. Black women specifically have always been on the chopping block when it came to white women and our rights. It's not new. The fight continues, and the fight isn't different than it was yesterday.